টাইমটা 9:30 তে দিতে নিয়ে 3:30 হয়ে গেছে, আমি খেয়াল করিনি।
ঠিক আছে ম্যাম।
আমি এখন ক্লাসে যে দেখছি যে এটা 3:30 তে।
ম্যাম আজকে কি কোনো এক্সাম আছে?
না, আজকে কোনো এক্সাম নেই। আপনাদেরকে দিয়ে দিয়েছিলাম, আমি একটা নোটিশ দিয়েছিলাম।
ম্যাম ওটা তো অ্যাসাইনমেন্টের নোটিশ দিয়েছি।
অ্যাসাইনমেন্ট না অ্যাসেসমেন্ট, কি লিখেছিলাম?
অ্যাসেসমেন্ট লিখছিলেন, ঠিক আছে।
ইয়েস ম্যাম অ্যাসেসমেন্ট। ও আচ্ছা।
সো এখন অনলাইনে আমাদের কুইজ লেখা তো ইলিগাল, সো দ্যাটস ওয়াই অ্যাসেসমেন্ট লিখেছি, দ্যাটস ইট।
ম্যাম ইলিগাল কেন হবে? অন্যান্য জায়গায় তো কুইজও তো লেখা।
According to UGC, you shouldn't take any quizzes or exams. That's why quiz, exam, these words shouldn't be used. So we are following UGC's rules. That's why there is no term with quiz or something exam, something like this. So that assessment, that means we are going to assess your work. That's it.
কিছুটা ঘুরিয়ে ভাত খাওয়া।
জি, কিছুটা করিয়া ভাত খাওয়া। কি করবো, ভাত যখন খেতেই হবে। So okay, so as we say that the syllabus of the exam, assessment 1 will be method, that is Gaussian elimination method, iterative method, bisection method, and second method. So till this, I hope you have practiced those exercises.
Yes, ma'am.
Is there any
ম্যাম একটু
problem?
কোশ্চেন প্যাটার্ন যেই হোমওয়ার্কটা দিছিলেন ম্যাম, ওইটা হচ্ছে রিয়েল রুট ম্যাম 3টা পাইছি, আপনি বলছেন 2টা, যদি একটু চেক করতেন ম্যাম।
Real root চিন্তা পেয়েছেন? কি ছিল কোশ্চেনটা, একটু লিখে দিতে পারবেন? ইকুয়েশনটা কি ছিল? চ্যাট রুমে একটু ইকুয়েশনটা লিখে দেন।
আচ্ছা ম্যাম আপনি যে অ্যাসেসমেন্টটা নেবেন, বাট এর যে ম্যাথগুলো আছে একটু লেন্দি, সো আমরা কি মানে কমপ্লিট করতে পারবো?
I think I have discussed in the class. That means if that is a lengthy problem, I'll divide it into several parts. So each of the part will hold a mark of 2, 3, or 4, maximum 4. So it will be okay. But obviously you need to do it fast, যারা নিজেরা করছেন, কারণ যেহেতু একটা কপি করার বা একটা চিটিং এর একটা টেন্ডেন্সি প্রচন্ড রকম, সো সেই জন্য আমরা টাইম লিমিটেশন খুবই কমিয়ে দিয়েছি, এবং এবার আমাদের স্ট্রিক্ট রেস্ট্রিকশন আছে। অবভিয়াসলি উই নিড টু ইনক্লুড 8 to 10 questions within 20 to 25 minutes. That means we are very much restricted about the time. It must not exceed 25 minutes. So 20 to 25, that's the time limit given to us. And it should be 8 to 10, minimum 8 questions, minimum 8 to 10 questions should be included. So যারা কপি করবেন তাদের তো বলতে বলতে মুখ ব্যথা হয়ে গেছে, সো তাদের জন্য বলেছি যে একই রকম নাম্বার যদি অনেকের থাকে, সো সেই পুরোটা গ্রুপকে আইডেন্টিফাই করে তাদেরকে আমি আলাদা করে ভাইভা নিব, দ্যাট ইজ দ্য ওয়ান থিং। অ্যান্ড আদার্স যারা নিজেরা করছেন বা করবেন, তারা অবশ্যই একটু তাড়াতাড়ি করার চেষ্টা করবেন, কারণ টাইমটা এখানে খুবই কম।
ম্যাম তাও একটু বিবেচনা করেন যে অ্যাকচুয়ালি টাইমটা যদি ওই টাইমের ভিতরে করা পসিবল হয়, অ্যাকচুয়ালি অ্যাজ এ স্টুডেন্ট আমরা তো আর এত এক্সপার্ট না ম্যাম, কেবল শিখতেছি, সো একটু
সো
দেখবেন
ওভাবে কোয়েশ্চেন আমরা সবসময় করার চেষ্টা করি, যেটা যে আমি যদি একটা অঙ্ক 5 মিনিটে করতে পারি, আপনাদের সেটা 10 মিনিট দেওয়া হয়। সো আপনাদের যে কোয়েশ্চেনটা দেওয়া হবে সেটা যদি 25 মিনিট হয়, দ্যাট মিনস আমি সেটা 10 থেকে 12 মিনিটে করতে পারবো। সো দ্যাটস আপনাদেরকে 25 মিনিটে দেওয়া হয়, সো সেইভাবে দেওয়া হয়। তারপরেও আমরা যখন ক্লাসে এক্সাম নিতাম, যে আমরা একটু ডিউরেবল ছিলাম, বা আমিও প্রিভিয়াস কিছু সেমিস্টারে ডিউরেবল ছিলাম, একটু ডিউরেশনটা নিয়ে আমি একটু স্ট্রিক্ট ছিলাম না, বাট এবার আমাদের ডিপার্টমেন্ট থেকে স্ট্রিক্টলি বলা হয়েছে এটা খেয়াল করতে। সো এবার আমি আর কিছু করতে পারছি না, সো আই নিড টু ফলো দ্য ইনস্ট্রাকশনস।
ম্যাম চ্যাট রুমে দিয়েছি ম্যাম।
x2 cos 2x plus 2 minus x 2 cos 2x plus 2 minus x, এটাকে আমি ক্লাসে দেখাইনি।
দেখাইছিলেন ম্যাম, বাট রুট বের করে দেখান নেই।
রুট আমি
ইন্টারভাল
কি
দেখাই,
বলেছি? কয়টা রুট বলেছিলাম?
হোমওয়ার্ক দিছিলেন আর বলছিলেন ম্যাম 2টা রুট পেতে।
ওকে না, এটা
রিয়েল
তো
রুট।
3টা রুটই আছে, 3টা রুটই।
ইয়েস ম্যাম 3টাই পাইছে, এই জন্য আর কি কোশ্চেন করব।
There will be 3 roots. So we last class বলা থেকে there will be 2 roots, it's not correct. There will be 3 roots.
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
Because the graph should be like this.
স্ক্রিন শেয়ার তো অন করেন নাই ম্যাম।
Share তো on করা আছে, এখনো দেখতে পাচ্ছেন আপনারা?
নো ম্যাম।
এখন দেখা যাচ্ছে?
Yes, ma'am.
So this will be the graph and the next curve should be like this. So there will be 1, 2 and 3 roots. So that is the graph of fx is equals to 2 cos 2x plus 2 minus x. So this is the graph of 2 cos 2x and this one is the graph of x minus 2. So anything else?
জি ম্যাম ঠিক আছে ম্যাম।
So today is lecture 5, math 5, and today is 26th. So the next method we are going to learn, that is known as Newton-Raphson method. So for second method, what is the technique we have used?
স্ট্রেট লাইনের ফর্মুলাটা কনভার্ট করছিলাম, দেন ম্যাম ওইটা একবারে ডাইরেক্ট রুটে আমাদের পয়েন্ট করতো।
Okay, so the method of second method was the second line. Second line, that means on a curve, if I have 2 points, the straight line that joins these 2 points is known as the second line on the curve. So that is the second line. So that is the method, and from the name of the line, the method names as second method. So next method is Newton-Raphson method. So why we are using Newton-Raphson method? So for this one, we need to know the restriction for the previous one. So the previous ones one, the first method we have learned that the bisection method. So bisection method says what? Bisection method is using the midpoint. That means if it is A, if it is B, we are going to have the midpoint A plus B by 2. We are just dividing the whole section into 2 equal parts. That's why the name is bisection. But we find out that with the help of bisection method, sometime we are reaching to the root, sometime we are going far from the root. So it's just what is it, that it is just a way to just come near to the point and then go far from the point. So it's just a riddle, so it will take a long time. So that's why the second method we have learned, that is the second method. So what is the benefit of the second method? Second method is it's not approaching far, it's always getting near to the root. So it will take a little less time when we apply the second method. The next method is Newton-Raphson. So Newton-Raphson says that for second method, first of all, you need an interval. You need an interval. But maybe in some cases, if I know this curve, and I can just guess that maybe I have the point, I know that point, this point is 1.5. So I can assume that the root is very near to what? Very near to 1.5. 5. That means I don't want to have an interval. I just want a point which is near to the root. So the first benefit of Newton-Raphson method is we don't need an interval. Don't need a interval. What you need? We just need a point near to the root. Need a point near to the root. So that is the first benefit of Newton-Raphson method. That means when you are unable to choose an interval, but you are gazing that the point is near to the root, then Newton-Raphson method is helpful for us. So that is the first one. And second one is that will just, the Newton-Raphson method will be, if you have a curve, say this is your curve, then you are going to draw a tangent line. So tangent line. So tangent line means what? On the curve, I need only 1 point. For second line, on the curve, I need 2 points. But for tangent line, I just need 1 point and then a straight line which will touch that point only and passes through. Isn't that is the definition of tangent line? Is it or not?
Yes, ma'am.
স্পর্শক ট্যানজেন্ট লাইন বা স্পর্শক যেটা কার্ভটাকে শুধুমাত্র একটা পয়েন্টে স্পর্শ করে চলে যায় স্পর্শক. So the technique of Newton-Raphson method is having a tangent line. So obviously that can be a question for Viva, that on second method whatever you have used, we have used a second line which requires 2 points on the curve. So on Newton-Raphson method, what we require, we need just a single point on the curve, which is the, and we need to draw the tangent line at that point. So hopefully you remember the equation of the tangent line. What is the equation of the tangent line? So I need 1 point, x naught, y naught, and I need the slope of the tangent line. Slope of the tangent line. So what is the equation? Using this two
theta equals
information.
to tan inverse y by x.
Y minus y naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. That is the equation of the straight line or the tangent line with a slope m. And the simplest form is, simplified form is y equals to mx plus c. That is the standard equation of a tangent. But when you don't know the c, but we have a point given x naught, y naught, then this is the modified form of tangent line. Y minus y naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. So if I simplify this point as x naught and f of x naught, what you can write? Y minus f of x naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. At the root, what do you know? At the root, what is the value of y?
Y equals to 0.
Y equals to 0. So at the root, y equals to 0. So what I get? Minus f of x naught is equals to m into x minus x naught. M into x minus x naught. So if I simplify this equation, because we need the root. Root is what? Root is the value of x, isn't? So I need to find the value of x. I need to simplify this equation. So what I can write? X minus x naught is equals to minus f x naught by m. Is it? So x is equals to x naught minus f of x naught by m. So what is m? The slope. dy dx. Y dx is what? For a function f, that can be written as f prime x. So if the slope is at the point x naught, y naught, so you can write it, that one is f prime x naught. Yes or no?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes. So we are to simplify that equation. So x is equals to x naught minus f x naught divided by f prime x naught. Done. So that is the formula. So at the exam, obviously the formula will not come to derive. Just you need to know how we get that formula so that if anyhow you forgot, you can create the formula by yourself. So this is the next point we want. So xn plus 1. This is the point we have. So xn is equals to f of xn divided by f prime xn. So that is Newton-Raphson method. Newton-Raphson method. So to apply Newton-Raphson method, what we need? To apply just a single point. Just a single point near the root. So whenever we are guessing, so may not be the point is near the root, but it will approach to the root. So to apply Newton-Raphson method, what you need? Just a single point near the root. So that is Newton-Raphson method. Say I have x minus 2 whole square is equals to cube is equals to 0. What is the root, or how many roots we have? How many roots we have? আমাদের ইকুয়েশনটা কয়টা রুট আছে?
ম্যাম আমি আসলে কথা শুনতে পাচ্ছি না। আপনি ডাইরেক্ট ব্যাক টু বলবেন ইকুয়েশনটা।
আমাদের এই ইকুয়েশনটা কয়টা রুট আছে? x minus 2 whole cube equals to 0. ইকুয়েশনটা কয়টা রুট আছে? তিনটা. Highest power of the variable is 3. So there are 3 roots. There are 3 roots. What are the roots? X equals to 2, 2 and 2. All these roots are same. All these roots are same. So these are known as repeated roots. When you have the same root in your equation or duplicate root in your equation, then those roots are known as repeated root. Repeated root. So the basic work or basic motive of Newton-Raphson method is only this method allows you to find the root when it is a repeated root. So first of all, Newton just explored this method, that Newton-Raphson method, but he again find a new method with a little bit of modification, that xn plus 1 is equals to xn minus m into f of xn divided by f prime xn. This is the modified version of Newton-Raphson method, where m is the number of repeated root, where m is the number of repeated root. Number of repeated root. So it says that if you have an equation and you know that there is a repeated root, so then you need to replace the number of repeated root here with m and then find the equation. That means for this case, what is the value of m? 3. So whenever using the modified Newton-Raphson method, you should replace the value of m3 and then start the calculation. So that is the most highlighted point or part of modified Newton-Raphson method, because this is the only method where you can evaluate the repeated roots. Repeated roots. That means যখনই আমাদের question দেওয়া থাকবে that this equation has a repeated root, find out the number of root. Maybe the method is not given to you, but you are restricted to use which method? Newton-Raphson method. So basically one method is enough to learn, that is the modified Newton-Raphson method, because Newton-Raphson method is basically the value of m with 1. When the value of m is 1, then it is Newton-Raphson method. So don't get confused with the slope, because both of them use the same term m. So this m is the slope. Okay, This m is the slope. So this m and this m is not same, and this m is the number of repeated root. Number of repeated root. So don't get confused. Okay, this is the number of repeated root, this is slope. So the same notification, but the meanings are not same. Okay, so here goes the question.
আচ্ছা ম্যাম, এখানে রুটটাকেই কি আমরা স্লপ ধরলাম উপরে?
না না, রুট একটা জায়গায় আমরা প্রথমে ফর্মুলাটা ডিরাইভ করা দেখালাম। আমার ফর্মুলার যখন
জি ম্যাম।
ডিরাইভেশন শেষ তখন এম এর কাজ শেষ, এম ওখানেই ছেড়ে দিয়ে চলে আসো। ওকে,
জি ম্যাম।
আর পরের এমটা আলাদা, যে আমার রুটটা
আচ্ছা
কয়বার রিপিট করেছে। So f(x) equals to 0 has a double root near x equals to 0.5. Find the root correct to 3dp using appropriate method. So what do you think? What is the appropriate method for this one?
near root বললাম তাহলে নিউটন অ্যাকশন method.
The term is here. What is it written?
Double root.
So that means it has a repeated root. So whenever you have a repeated root, the method you are going to use is Newton-Raphson method. What is the value of m? What is the value of m?
2 ম্যাম।
Name 2.
2. So you need to substitute m with 2 in your method. Done? So this is your method, or this is your formula to use. So next you can create a table. If you don't want to create a table, you can leave it, no worries. So n, xn, then you have fxn and f prime xn. So first of all, we are doing no iteration, so just the iteration number is 0. So the value x naught is the given point. What is the given point? 0.5. So you need to find the value of f of 0.5 and f prime 0.5. So for this one you need fx and you need f prime x. So fx is already given. Fx is equals to 686 x cubed minus 735 x square plus 125. So what is the value of f prime x? F prime x is 686 into 3. What is it? Is it?
Yes, ma'am.
That one is constant 0. So what is the value of f of 0.5?
ম্যাম মাইনাস 220.5 I mean f inverse man f inverse 0.3 I don't know.
So f inverse is this should be written to 0.5. How many digits you should consider?
ম্যাম এখানে আমার মনে নাই যে আসলে কত ডিগ্রি ধরতে বলা হয়েছিল
3 decimal places. So we should take is it? So next one is 1, that means we're going for the first iteration. So x1, this formula x1 should be equals to x naught minus 2 into fx naught divided by f prime x naught. So x naught is equals to 0.5 minus 2 into fx naught, that is 27, and f prime x naught, that is minus 2 to 0.5. So the value is the value is
0.744.
3 ডিজিট পর্যন্ত নিলে আমার কত ডিজিট নিতে হবে?
ম্যাম 0.45 নিতে হবে ম্যাম।
What is
8
the
আছে
value of having?
8 আছে ম্যাম।
8 আছে ম্যাম।
8 এর পরের ডিজিট কত আছে?
9 ম্যাম।
Then 0.7449. 0.7449. So go ahead for the values.
ম্যাম এফ অফ প্রাইম এর ভ্যালুটা মানে বের করা বুঝি নাই ম্যাম, এটা কেমন করে করছেন?
f of f
এফ অফ
prime
প্রাইম
ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করেছি। আমার যদি 3x কিউব থাকে তাহলে ডিফারেন্সিয়েশন কত?
জি ম্যাম বুঝতে পারছি।
জাস্ট ডিফারেন্সিয়েট করেছি, 3 দিয়ে গুণ করেছি, 2 দিয়ে গুণ করেছি, এটা কনস্ট্যান্টের ডিফারেন্সিয়েশন 0।
জি ম্যাম ঠিক আছে, বুঝতে পারছি।
f of 0.7449 আসে ম্যাম 0.7086
And this one is
ম্যাম 46.9 46.9318.
46.9318. So x2 should be equals to x1 minus 2f of x1 divided by f prime x1. So that is x1 is 0.7449 minus 2 into 0.7086 and 46.9318. So please continue and have the result. অঙ্কটা শেষ করো, শেষ করে আমাকে রুট হয়ে গেলে রুটটা চ্যাট রুমে লিখে পাঠাও। Is it done?
জি ম্যাম, চ্যাট রুমে লিখে দিছি ম্যাম।
Very good. So যারা লিখেছেন সবাই কি করেছেন, না অন্যেরটা দেখে লিখে দিয়েছেন?
করেছি ম্যাম।
করেছেন। তানজিল হাসান সাকিব, তানজিল হাসান সাকিব, তানজিল হাসান সাকিব কি শুনতে পাচ্ছেন আমাকে? নাই, অঙ্ক করে কি ঘুমাই গেছেন? ম্যাম, মাই মাইক ওয়াজ প্রবলেম। আমাদের তো এখন ক্লাস করার মাধ্যমে একটা হেডফোন, মাইক্রোফোন আর ল্যাপটপ বা পিসি, এটা ঠিক না থাকলে কিভাবে হবে? যাক, এই সমস্যার সমাধান আশা করি খুবই শীঘ্রই হতে যাচ্ছে। ড্যাফোডিল তো অলরেডি ইউনিভার্সিটি খুলে দিয়েছে, আমরাও ইনশাল্লাহ খুলে দিব খুব শীঘ্রই। So okay, the value of x2, I just asked for the root, not the value of x2. So x2 তে সবাই ভ্যালু পেয়ে গিয়েছেন?
বাকিগুলো মানে বাইরে থেকে করবো।
জি, আমি রুট পর্যন্ত যেতে বলেছি, যে আপনি কিভাবে বুঝবেন আপনি রুটে গিয়েছেন?
আমি এফ অফ এক্স এনটা ম্যাম আমি 0.001 পেয়েছিলাম।
What is the value of f of 0.7147?
ম্যাম চ্যাট বক্সে লিখে দিয়েছিলাম।
xn বলতে কত এখানে? x2 ইউজ করছেন, x2 তেই 00 পেয়ে গিয়েছেন।
ইয়েস ম্যাম, এমন তো
0.0001. Then can I conclude that this is my root? Can I conclude that this is my root? So x3, what is the value of x3? 0.7143. So if I just convert this one, that number is 0.715. 3 digits, I need the result correct of 3 digits, and this one is 0.714. So these 2 digits doesn't match till 3 decimal places. So what you need to do, we need to go for the next step. So we need to go for so x3 was 0.7143, which is 0.714, doesn't match, so we need to go for the fourth step, that is x4. So x4 is equal to 0.7143, just the exact match. So this one, if we round it off to 3 decimal places, that one is again 7714. So yes, the root correct to 3dp is 0.714. Answer. None? So any question? কারো কোনো কোয়েশ্চেন আছে?
আমরা আসলে ডান দিকের গুলোর পরে কেন
অবশ্যই লিখবেন, আমি আর লিখিনি, আপনারা অবশ্যই লিখবেন। আমি কোথায় থামতে হবে আমি সেটা বুঝিয়ে দিলাম, যে আমরা কখন এসে থামবো, দ্যাট ইজ মাই রুট। এটা আপনার করার দরকার নেই, কারণ আমরা নেক্সট স্টেপে যাচ্ছি না, সো নো নিড ফর দিস।
বুঝতে পারছি।
সো আমরা এখন আজকে একটু ম্যাথ ল্যাবটা দেখবো। So I'm using 2015A. So whatever your laptop or PC supports or whatever you can arrange, you can go ahead. The version, the changes with the version is very minimum, so it will not be a problem for you. So this one, you can see that this one is command window. You can see the screen.
Yes, ma'am.
So whenever you are going to open the MATLAB programming language, you are going to have something like this, that command window. So you can do the programs in two ways. One is you can use the command window, or you can use a script. So script, how will you get it? See, here is new script. So click here. So you're going to have a new script. So your result will always be appeared in the command window. So you can just keep both of them together. So you can directly write the program here and have the result, or you can write the program here and save it for later use. And whenever you are going to use it later, say you can open that one. So that is the open option. So obviously you know better than me to handle all these PCs, laptops, or such a things. These are very much similar to the other programming language and the Microsoft Word. So you can do that one, I think. So very few things, just whatever you need. As I said, that do the exercise or do the practice from the PowerPoint slide uploaded. You can do it by yourself, just a minimum version. So first of all, MATLAB stores all the numbers in a matrix form, that means array form. So whatever you are going to give it there, it should be in array form. So say I want to store some numbers. So say x is equals to third bracket 4, 5, 6. So whatever I have given, I just want to see this one. So this is the number. That means the computer just save this numbers with the values of x. So x gets the values 4, 5, 6. So say the same thing, I want to write it in a different mode. So without the comma, you can use a space. That means I'm just omitting the commas and I'm giving the space. So this one is done. So the same thing you'll have. So enter, that is 4, 5, 6. That means you can use both ways, commas or a space. Or just now I don't want to have the values in that format. That means I want to have the values in a column way, column wise values. So if I want to have the column wise values, just at the end you need to give a comma, inverted commas. So just enter. So that is 4, 5, 6. Now the matrix is saved, or the values of x is saved in an column way, not saved, it displays in a column matrix. So 4, 5, 6. You can also write it in a different format. That means after every term you are just giving a semicolon. So whenever you are going to give a semicolon, that will do the same thing. Semicolon means next line. Semicolon means next line. So press enter. So that is 4, next line is 5, next line is 6. So say I don't want to see the output. So if you don't want to see the output, that means every line, if you're going to have output like this, it will be a harassment or it will be a irritation when you are writing a bigger problem. So I don't want to see it. So at that case, at the end, you are going to give a semicolon. So at the end, when you're giving a semicolon, that means at the output, it's not going to show you anything. Your command window is clear. Okay, so say I don't want to see all these things. I need a clear command window. So you can write CLC. So the command window is clear. CLC. CLC. CLC is used basically just to clean the window, not its memory. But if you want to clean the memory also, then you need to write it properly. That is clear. CLEAR, clear. That means whatever the value you have stored previously in X, everything is cleared. Its memory is cleared. So two terms are there. One is CLC. CLC is just wipe it off. The screen or the board, you are wipe it off. আমরা just মুছে দিচ্ছি আমাদের বোর্ডে কি লেখা আছে, that is CLC. And CLEAR, clear, is you are just wiping up all the memories that you have stored, given or you have given. মানে আমার মাথায় যা আছে আমি সেটাও মুছে দিচ্ছি, that is clear. So these are the two things. So it is suggested that whenever you are starting a new program and you don't want any interruption from the previous program, always write clear first. Always write clear first. Why?
কারণ আগের কোনো প্রোগ্রামে x এর মান সেট করতে পারে বা y এর মান সেট করতে পারে।
Yes, so that if you didn't set, say in a program you're using now, you need the values of x, but you forget to give the values of x. So what will it do? If you didn't write clear, it will just recall from its memory that whatever the value of x you have saved before, and it will bring it in your new program. So that's why, to be in safe side, always start your programming with writing the term clear. That means you are memorizing, you are clearing its memory. So then, how to write two things? Say I want to write x, say a is equals to 1, 2, 3. Then I want to go to the next line. So 5, 6, 7. Enter. So that is the way you are going to have a next line. So semicolon is basically just go to the second line, next line. Next line is semicolon. So say now I want to have the values of x within that same interval. So x is equals to 1 is to 5. So what will happen? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That means this is the first number of x, this is the last number of x, as I didn't mention any interval, so by default it takes the interval as 1. So every time it's going to add up 1, so 1 plus 1, 2, 2 plus 1, 3, 3 plus 1, 4, 4 plus 1, 5, so when it gets the 5, it stops. So now I want to give an interval, say x is equals to 1, and now I want to give the interval of 2. Then I want to give, say, 8. So enter. So what is given? 1. Then the interval length is 2. So 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. 5 plus 2 is 7. Why does it stop at 7? Because if it adds a number again 2, it will be 9, which would exceed the upper limit. So it's not going to exceed the upper limit. That's why it is 1, 3, 5, and 7. So you can do the same thing in another way. In another way is you can use the linspace. So in MATLAB, there are so many built-in programs. These are known as built-in program. That means with the name, with some specific words or letters or terms, you can just recall some program, which is a built-in program in MATLAB. ম্যাথল্যাবের ভিতরে অনেক প্রোগ্রাম সেট করা আছে যেগুলো আপনি শুধুমাত্র কোনো একটা নোটিফিকেশন সাইন বা ওয়ার্ড দিয়ে আপনি রিকল করতে পারেন। So linspace is such a programming built-in program that says that it will create a line with a specific space. Create a line with a specific space. That will do the same thing. That means say I am going to give, I want to write 1, 9. That means I want to write 1 to 9 with an interval of 3. So see, 1 plus 3. So 2, 3, 4. 3 spaces are there. 3 spaces there. The next one is 5. Then 5. 6, 7, 8. 3 spaces are there. Then 9. So 1, 5, and 9. So previously 1, 2, 8 that was given, they're just adding 2, not spacing. But if you want space in between them, that means previously see this one, 1 plus 2 is 3. 3 plus 2 is 5. So in between 1, 2, 3, there is only one number 2. But when I'm writing in this way, 1, then it skips 3 spaces. That means 2, 3, 4, it skips. The next one is 5. Then 6, 7, 8, it skips. The next one is 9. So that is the term linspace. Okay. So then if you want to have a display, that means whenever you are writing on a script, you need to give a print option separately so that you can have a printout. So for floating number, you need to give a percentage of f. Say A is equals to now 5.456. So that is the number we are going to give. Done. So then display DISP display of A. Okay. It should be disp of A. See, I gave a capital D. So MATLAB is a letter sensitive term. That means capital and small letters will vary. So as I have written capital DA, that's why it gives the error. And it also suggests that what it should be. So that should be DISP. All those are small letters, DISP, display. DISP basically display, so display A. So it displays A. So basically this one is such as like this, 5.4567. I gave a semicolon, that means that it's not going to display the value. That means in the program, I don't want to have the value, but at the end, I want to have the value. So then you can have the display of A. Then it will show the value of 5.4567. So another option can be given. That one is fprint, F-R-I-N-T, print F. So fprintf is basically when you're having the floating point, it's basically a printing command, but you can use it, we use it usually for the floating point. So that one is percentage %f. That means you're having a floating point, comma A. So enter, that is the printout. So now say I want to specify the number of decimal points. So if print A, I need only 2 digits. So I write down fprintf percentage of 0.2f, 0.2f. Enter. So see, it just shows the number with the 2 decimal places. So 5.46, 5.46. So whenever we are trying to work with the accuracy and whenever we are calculating with 4 digits or 5 digits or 3 digits, then obviously you need to give that term so that it will have your result in the same format that you want. That means the digits that you require. So I think that will be enough. So next. So the first method we have learned, what was that method? We have learned the Gaussian elimination method. That means we have learned a system of linear equation. System of linear equation. So whenever you have a system of linear equation, say we have the equation, that is what we have solved already. That the equation was 8x plus 3y minus 5z is equals to 3. Then 10x plus 7y plus 2z is equals to 4, and 6x plus 4y plus 7z is equals to 8. So this is a system of linear equation. You want to solve it. So if I want to solve it, what should I do? I will enter the matrix. That means I can write it in the form of like this. 8, 3 minus 5, 10, 7, 2, and 6, 4, 7. That is the matrix A that you have learned in Math 4. X, the number variables. So the variables are X, Y, Z, and that should be equals to the constant column. So our constant column is 3, 4, 8. Done. So you need to give the value. So that is your B, constant column B. So AX is equals to B is the matrix form of a system of linear equation. What gives you X is equals to A inverse B. That is you have learned in Math 4, isn't it?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So on your portal, whatever the uploaded term, that means PDF, PowerPoint slides, you have two things together. That is the inverse of A. That means one solution can be done as x equals to inverse of A into B. One solution is like this, it's given. And the another one is x is equals to A backslash B. So whenever you are having a backslash B, that is it's using the method that we are learning, that is the Gaussian elimination method, that is this one, this sign is a built-in program. This sign is a built-in program. So if I give A, we need to give the input. So A is equals to 8, 3 minus 5, 8, 3 minus 5. Then we want to give it to the next line because this is the next line of the matrix. So semicolon, 10, 7, 2, semicolon, then 6, 4, 7, 6, 4, 7. So I don't want a printout, that's why I just give a semicolon. Then I don't want to say it, I am just writing a program. So just keep it in your memory. So that's why I give a semicolon. So when I enter, there is no output given. So then I'm going to save the value of B. So B is the constant column, which was 3, 4, and 8. So constant column is a column matrix. So 3, then next line. So that's why the semicolon, then 3, 4, and 8. Same, I don't want to see the values. So I just keep it like this. So 3, 4, and 8. Next, I want the solution. So whatever I have written, solution, this is, you want to have a look like this. So instead of this, you also can write S is equals to what? So your output should be S. You can write SOL is equals to this. That means your output is SOL. So that is, this part is not your term. This part is not a built-in program. That is just a name you are giving the output. That means আমরা কিভাবে আউটপুটটাকে দেখতে চাচ্ছি, আমরা আউটপুটটাকে সলিউশন আকারে দেখতে চাচ্ছি। সো সলিউশন লিখেছি, দ্যাটস ওয়াই। সো এটা কোনো বিল্ট ইন প্রোগ্রাম না, এটা তুমি নিজের মতো চেঞ্জ করতে পারো, নিজের যা ইচ্ছা লিখতে পারো, যেটা লিখবা সেটাই ডিসপ্লেতে আসবে। সো দ্য টার্ম ইউ আর ইউজিং দ্যাট A backslash B, A backslash B, that's what you need, that's what you need. So then enter. So that is your solution. 1.75, this is the value of x, minus 2.81829 and 0.8902. So that is your solution. Any question?
ম্যাম এটা যদি দশমিকের পরে আমি আসলে 2 ঘর দেখাতে যাচ্ছি, তখন আমি অনুমান করতে হবে এখানে এই সলিউশনের জন্য।
তো সলিউশনে আপনি তখন এখানে কি করবেন, এই যে ডিসপ্লেতে যে অপশনগুলো আছে আপনি সেই অপশনগুলো দিয়ে দিবেন। f print f, now I want to use that one for later term, so I just write it in the script. So solution A by B, so then I want to have the solution in the required form, so I want to have f print f say 0.2f SOLU on solution SOLUTF. So that's the end. That means I have given A, I have given the value of B, I have mentioned what is solution. So solution is A backslash B, and I want to have the printout. So f printf, I want the result with just 2 decimal places. So I give it f percentage of 0.2f and solution. Done. So then you need to save it. So save.
ম্যাম f print f না, শুধু সামনে একটা এডিশন লাস্টে দেওয়া হয় না।
F printf, thank you. So save, then I'm trying to save that one as sol.m. So save. So saved. Then there is the option run. So go ahead for run. So see, the solution is here. 1.75 minus 2.18, 0.89. So আমার যে সলিউশনটা আছে সেটা আমার আসলে রিকোয়ার্ড টার্মে আসেনি, এসেছে? আমার ভ্যালুগুলো দেখে আপনি বুঝতে পারছেন না, কিন্তু সলিউশনগুলো কিন্তু 2 ডিজিট করে দিয়েছে। So in that case, what you're going to do? You need to give you need to save the solution in another format. সলিউশন কিন্তু আমার 2 ডিজিট করে এসেছে, দেখতে পাচ্ছেন?
ইয়েস ম্যাম।
কিন্তু আমার সলিউশনের ভ্যালুগুলো আমি যেরকম করে যাচ্ছি সেরকম করে আসেনি, পাশাপাশি এসেছে। সো এই ক্ষেত্রে আমাকে আরো কিছু কাজ করতে হবে, যেমন এখানে লিখতে হলে আমাকে এক্স ওয়াই জেড ডিফাইন করতে হবে এবং দেন তারপর প্রত্যেকটা ভ্যালুকে আমার নিচে নামাতে হবে। সো আমরা আর এই কাজটা করার দরকার নেই এখানে, আপনারা একটু বাসায় ট্রাই করে নেবেন, যদি না পারেন পরে বলবেন। So we are approaching to the next one. So our next method was the iterative method. So say we have the equation 6x plus 5y plus 3z is equals to 7, 8x minus 3y plus 2z equals to 16. আমরা যে প্রবলেমগুলো করেছি ওগুলোই দেখাচ্ছি যাতে আপনাদের সুবিধা হয়। Minus 8z is equals to 15. So it should be converted to diagonally dominant system of linear equations. So when you convert it to diagonally dominant, that is 3y plus 2z equals to 16. Then minus 2x plus 8y plus z is equals to minus 9. Minus 2x plus 4y plus 10z is equals to 1. So this is the dominant one. Diagonally dominant. So then we need to convert it to the iterative formulas. So here any one of the iterative formula you can use. So if I'm going to use the Gauss-Seidel iterative formula, then it should be written as x is equals to xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 8, 16 plus 3yn minus 2zn. Then yn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 8 minus 9 plus 2xn plus 1 minus zn. Then zn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 10. 1 plus 2xn plus 1 minus 4yn plus 1. So this is our iterative formula. So we need to give the value, the initial values given. So initial values for those problems were given as x equals to 1.5. I don't see the value. Y of 1 also minus 1. That was the initial value given. Do you remember or forgot?
-2 and 1 ছিল last.
Whatever, the initial values are given. Whenever you are trying to have iterative formula, you should start with 0, 0, 0 or initial value. So I'm just giving the initial values. That's it. Okay. So now iteration. So I'm just giving it a name, iteration. So which number of iteration we're having now? Just now I didn't have any iteration. So iteration 1 is 0. That means আমি এখনো কোনো iteration করিনি. So ITR1 is 0. Okay, so these are the initial things you need to give. Then you need to apply the equations. So how long it will continue? Because you know that I need to replace the values here. Isn't I need to replace the value of x0, y0, z0. Then you are going to value of x1, y1, z1. Then you are going to replace the value of x1, y1, z1. Then you are going to have x2, y2, z2. This means how long you are going to do the iteration. So that's why you need to go for a do loop or for loop. That means loop. একটা loop ঘুরতেই থাকবে. So যখন আমি একটা loop চালানোর চেষ্টা করব তখন অবশ্যই আমার কি করতে হবে? আমার ইনিশিয়াল গেস দিতে হবে এবং তার সে কোথায় যে থামবে সেই গেসটা আমাকে দিয়ে দিতে হবে। সো আমরা যখন ইন ফিউচার বড় কোনো প্রোগ্রাম বা অনেক কিছু আপনারা অ্যাড করবেন তখন আমরা সেখানে কন্ডিশন অ্যাড করি যে বাই ডিফল্ট হুইচ কন্ডিশন ইউ শুড স্টপ। Usually here the condition should set for the error term, that means the tolerance. Tolerance is the difference between the exact value and the calculative value divided by the term. That means if you're going to have the 5th digit accuracy, then the term 10 to the power 5, something like this. So এখানে আমরা যেহেতু এটা এক্সপ্লেইন করছি না, সো আমরা ওই কন্ডিশনে যাচ্ছি না। আমরা জাস্ট বাই গেস যখন আমরা এভাবে করব, উইল জাস্ট গিভ আ বিগার নাম্বার অফ ইটারেশন। দ্যাট মিন্স ইটারেশন যেন থেমে না যায়। আমি একটা বড় নাম্বার ইটারেশন দিয়ে দেবো যে তুমি ঘুরতেই থাকো। সো তুমি যখন একবার প্রোগ্রামের আউটপুটটা চলে আসবে দেখলেই তুমি বুঝতে পারবে যে তোমার কত নাম্বার ইটারেশনের পর রেজাল্ট চলে আসছে। So তখন তুমি একটা গেস করতে পারবো। So say I am giving the iteration number as 6. So I am having a loop. So here we are using a for loop. There are so many loops you can use in MATLAB. So I am using a for loop. So whenever there is a built-in term, it will be blue. See, whenever I have write down FOR, that becomes blue. That means it's a built-in term. So I'm trying to introduce a loop. So the loop will start from the iteration number 1. And it will stop here. So I'm just giving it a number, just a number. The loop will stop at say 8. Say 8 or 10. Say, I'm just giving to say. So for n equals to 1 to 8, that means after 8 iteration, the loop will stop. After 8 iteration, the loop will stop. So the loop starts. So what is the count? That means iteration 1 is 0. That means I haven't done any iteration. So now the iteration number will increase. So iteration is equals to iteration of n plus 1 is equals to n. Means this starts the loop for n. So n starts from 1. So first time it will go for iteration 1. Then it will go for iteration 2. In that way it will continue, and when the iteration number is 8, it will stop. So then you need to write those equations that you have here. The spacing is not mandatory, but usually we give the spacing so that you understand that where your loop starts and what are the terms you have in your loop. So then you need to write the equation. So xn plus 1, this is your xn plus 1 is equals to 1 by 8. So the whole thing should be divided by 8. Whole thing should be divided by 8, semicolon. Next, what is the whole thing? In between you have 16, so 16 plus 3 into yn, so 3 into yn, 3 into yn. Then you have minus 2 into zn, minus 2 into zn. So please have a look how we write the equation. So as bracket is a very important factor, so I always prefer to write it in this way so that there will be no missing brackets. But if you go along with the general one, that means from the beginning you are going to give a bracket, then 16 plus 3y and something like this, in that way you can go. But I personally prefer to do it like this. Same way I need yn plus 1 is equals to, the whole thing should be divided by 8 again. So I can just copy and paste. The first number is minus 9, then 2 into x n plus 1 n plus 1 minus zn, done. So then zn plus 1 is equals to plus 1 plus 2xn plus 1 minus 4 into yn plus 1 divided by 10. So yes, inside the for loop, whatever the term you need, you have write it down. Then you need to close the loop. So to close the loop, that is end. So you have ended up the loop. So then you are having the solution. So I'm just naming it, solution is equals to iteration itr iteration. I need this value in a column. So column, then comma x, comma y, comma z, so x, y, z. So now I am not going to give any semicolon because I want to have the display. So this is the display. So the first column is for x iteration, that is iter that you have given, iter, that is the iteration. And second column is for x, so this is the values of x, then y, these are the values of y, and z, these are the values of z. So what do you think, where should you stop? So I think 1 2 3 4 5
number
4 iteration is enough, 4 or 5. So that is your iterative method. So I have shown you the Gauss-Seidel. You can just use the Jacobi. Okay. So till this, any question?
No, ma'am.
No, ma'am.
Okay, so the next one we have started that on the graphical method to find out the root. So here you don't need a graphical method, you can use it directly with a simple built-in program. The built-in program is known as roots. That means you just need to give the equation of a nonlinear equation, give the coefficient of the nonlinear equation, and then with the help of the built-in program roots, you can find out the roots. So say I have the equation x cube plus 4x minus 3. এটা শেখাতে ভয় লাগে কারণ এমসিকিউতে এখন আপনাদের এক্সামে দিলে আপনারা সোজা ম্যাথল্যাবে বসাই দিবেন যে কয়টা রুট আছে। Okay, so x cube plus 4x minus 3 equals to 0. What are the coefficients? X cube, ax cube plus bx squared plus cx plus d is equals to 0. That is a third degree polynomial. Third degree polynomial, isn't? So
Yes,
this is the coefficient A, this is the coefficient B, C, and D. So if I compare it to the third degree polynomial equation, what is the value of A? 1. The value of B is 0. The value of C is 4. The value of D is minus 3. So that is a polynomial equation. So usually, as it is a polynomial equation, we define with P. But if you want to define with A, B, C, D, it's up to you. It doesn't matter. So I'm giving the polynomial equation. So when you are going to give it like this, it will store it as a polynomial equation. So 1, 0, 4, and minus 3. So please be careful that sometimes students just press 1, 4, 3 or 1, 4, minus 3. It's not the correct one. You need to compare it with the standard polynomial equation of that form. So as the highest power is 3, that's why you have compared it with the third degree polynomial equation. And after that we take the values. So 1, 0, 4, and 3, these are the values. So I don't want the output, so give a semicolon. Then I need the solution. You can write solution. Okay, solution is equals to roots, ROOTS. That is the built-in program, roots. Roots, that is the built-in program. So roots of what? Roots of the polynomial equation I need. So roots of P. So enter. So these are the roots of P. So how many real roots you have and how many imaginary roots you have?
real root একটা ম্যাম আর imaginary root দুইটা।
রিয়েল আর দুইটা ইমাজিনারি ম্যাম।
See, the third one is 0.000i. That means there is no imaginary part. Isn't? So how do you conclude? That polynomial equation has 3 roots. 2 of them are imaginary, 1 root is real. 2 of them are imaginary, 1 root is real. And if I want interval, that means in MCQ say I want the interval of the root. What will you write? What will be the interval of the root?
0.673 আর ম্যাম হচ্ছে 0.00।
এত কাছের নাম্বার বললে তো আমি বুঝে ফেলবো যে আপনি কি করছেন। তো তাহলে কি বলবেন? গ্রাফে কি আপনি 0.673 এরকম এক্সপ্লেইন করতে পারবেন?
ম্যাম গ্রাফ দাগায় দেখায় দেব মানে
So you can assume that the root is in between 0.5 to 1, isn't? And 0.673 পর্যন্ত গ্রাফ accurate আঁকা by hand is nearly impossible. So আপনারা যদি চোরামি করেন, চোরামির বুদ্ধি বলে দিলাম। কাছাকাছি যেটা আমরা ভিজিবল হতে পারে যে হ্যাঁ এটা হতে পারে, এটা পসিবল।
ম্যাম এটা শেখাও তো একটা প্র্যাকটিসের ব্যাপার, সবাই তো করতে
অবশ্যই,
পারে।
সেই জন্যই তো শিখাই দিলাম যে আপনার যদি বুদ্ধি থাকে আপনি করেন, আমার কোনো সমস্যা নেই। তাও নিজে করেন, তাও অন্যের কাছ থেকে কপি করেন না প্লিজ। So that's all for today's class. Next class inshallah we'll do the rest. Thank you everyone. The teacher is on my door, so I need to leave. Okay, any question?
ম্যাম সিলেবাস কতটুকু থাকবে কুইজের?
সেকেন্ড মেথড পর্যন্ত সিলেবাস থাকবে, বা নিউটন র্যাপসন পারবেন না, পারা যাবে আশা করি। নিউটন র্যাপসন পর্যন্ত সিলেবাস থাকবে। So I think there is no question because no one is asking any question, so you can take a leave.